As day 6 of the war unfolds, the situation on the ground becomes increasingly dire. Israel launches a barrage of airstrikes on Iranian positions, targeting key military installations and command centers. But in a bold move, Iran retaliates by firing ballistic missiles at Israeli cities, forcing thousands of civilians to flee for their lives. The U.S., caught in the middle, sends F-35 fighter jets to the region, escalating the conflict to new heights. Meanwhile, Russia offers to mediate talks between Iran and Israel, but so far, its efforts have been met with skepticism. The civilian toll is mounting, with reports of hospitals overflowing with wounded and families torn apart by the conflict. The once peaceful cities of Tel Aviv and Tehran are now battlegrounds, with artillery fire and rocket strikes becoming a daily occurrence. As the world watches in horror, the question on everyone's mind is, why is this conflict escalating into a global crisis? Is it a proxy war between rival powers, or a desperate bid for power in the Middle East? The answers, much like the truth itself, remain shrouded in uncertainty. But one thing is clear: the fate of the region hangs in the balance, and the world is holding its breath as the situation spirals out of control. Day 6 of the war sees the conflict taking a darker turn. Israel's aerial superiority is undeniable, with its F-35s dominating the skies and precision-guided missiles raining down on Iranian targets. But Iran's asymmetric warfare capabilities are a different story altogether. With its vast network of ballistic missiles, Tehran is threatening to bring the fight to Israel's cities. Iran's strategy is to exploit the weaknesses in Israel's defenses, using its cyber warfare capabilities to disrupt the country's infrastructure and create chaos. And it's working. Israeli cities are experiencing power outages and communication disruptions as Iran's hackers wreak havoc on the nation's digital backbone. But the U.S. is now increasingly involved in the conflict, providing intelligence support to Israel while also warning Iran against further attacks. The U.S. sees this as a test of its military might and is determined to prevent Iran from gaining the upper hand. But how will this aerial and ballistic missile standoff escalate further? Will Israel's F-35s be able to keep up with Iran's missile barrage, or will Tehran's asymmetric warfare capabilities prove too much for the Jewish state to handle? The stakes are higher than ever, and the world is holding its breath as the conflict teeters on the brink of all-out war. As day 6 of the war unfolds, the global fallout becomes increasingly evident. Regional tensions soar as neighboring countries like Lebanon and Iraq are drawn into the conflict. Their fragile economies, already reeling from years of sanctions, teeter on the brink of collapse. The war's ripple effects are felt in the streets of Beirut, where protests erupt over the rising cost of living and dwindling oil supplies. Meanwhile, the global economy trembles at the prospect of a prolonged conflict disrupting oil trade routes. The price of crude oil surges, sending shockwaves through the markets. Companies that rely on Middle Eastern oil scramble to secure alternative suppliers, while governments rush to impose emergency measures to mitigate the impact on their economies. But the war's far-reaching consequences extend beyond the realm of economics. A new world order may be emerging, with the U.S., Russia, and China vying for influence in the region. The conflict could signal a seismic shift in global power dynamics, as these nations jockey for position in a rapidly changing landscape. The implications are profound: a world where the old alliances are crumbling and new ones are being forged in the fire of conflict.